People are usually shocked when they hear my age. I'm 91 years old. I still drive my own car, do my own shopping, and remember everything clearly. The most impressive part? I haven't been sick in over 3 decades, not even a cold, not even a sniffle. And you know what's even more curious? I was never rich, never had expensive health insurance, and I don't come from a long-lived family. My parents died young, and my siblings take a dozen pills a day. But me? I'm still here, standing strong. And it's not luck, it's choice. A lot of people think health is a genetic lottery. Either you're born with it, or you'll spend old age collecting tests, doctor appointments, and pill boxes. But let me tell you something. I figured out early that your body responds to what you do with it every single day. Aging well has nothing to do with internet miracles, trendy supplements, or crazy diets. It has to do with listening to your body, respecting its timing, giving it the basics, but doing so consistently. And most importantly, never stopping, not walking, not thinking, not living with purpose. Over all these years, I saw a lot of good people fade, strong people who had everything it took to go the distance, but gradually faded away, and almost always for the same reason: bad habits accumulated silently. They start sleeping poorly, isolating themselves, stop moving, eat whatever they want, and ignore the signs. Time starts collecting inch by inch, memory by memory, step by step. I saw it happening and decided I'd be different. I was never radical, never obsessed with the gym, and never a slave to diets. I have my pleasures, yes, a hot coffee with fresh bread, a long chat at the end of the day, a piece of candy now and then. But there are 5 habits I never gave up, and they changed everything. Simple habits, small but repeated for decades. Every day like a pact I made with myself that I wouldn't give up my health without a fight. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. The 5 habits that keep me lucid, active, and full of life at 91. And it doesn't matter if you're 40, 60, or 80. The most incredible thing? None of these habits require money. None require youth or a perfect routine. One of them, even the most impactful, came from a completely unexpected place. The 5th habit, an ancient secret I learned from the wisdom of Buddhist monks. A simple teaching, but so powerful it became the pillar of my mental, emotional, and even physical health. Trust me, once you understand what it is, it'll change the way you live your days. So if you're interested in topics like health, leave a like here because this video could be a turning point for you, just like these habits were for me. Subscribe to the channel to keep getting content that tells the truth and shows what really works. And let me know in the comments what your biggest challenge is when it comes to aging healthily. Maybe I can help with a word, a tip, or just with this example that yes, it's possible to make it to 91 with the strength to keep living. The first habit I adopted, which transformed my health in a way no one imagined, was this. Every day, as soon as I wake up, I expose myself to natural morning light. No, it's not about tanning or trying to look good. It's a ritual, a connection with the day, a simple yet powerful way of telling my body, you're awake, it's time to live. Before even thinking about coffee, I open the door, walk to where the sun hits, take a deep breath, and let the light touch my face, my eyes, my skin. Just 10 minutes, but it makes all the difference. What many people don't know is that natural morning light acts like a reset button for the body. It regulates our biological clock, the so-called circadian rhythm, which controls everything: sleep, hunger, energy, mood, focus, even immunity. And I feel the difference clearly when I do this ritual. My body works better all day long. When I skip it, my mind feels slower. The contrast is obvious. Literally, the first time I felt this effect was by accident. I was traveling, staying in a bright, open place where the sun flooded the room. I woke up with the sunlight on my face, went out for a walk before breakfast, and that day was so light, so productive. I thought, there's something to this. I came home and began to repeat it. The more I did it, the more my body responded. My mood stabilized, I slept better, my appetite balanced out, and best of all, I felt more present, more clear-headed, more excited to start the day. Today, science confirms what I used to feel instinctively. Morning sunlight helps lower cortisol throughout the day, boosts serotonin, the well-being hormone, and primes melatonin production, which only kicks in at night. In other words, it's morning light that sets up your night's sleep. The beginning defines the end. Many people ignore this. They stay locked in the dark, with the blue light of their phone in their face, and then don't understand why their day drags and their night is restless. And the most beautiful part? This habit costs nothing and requires no physical effort, just the willingness to open the window, step outside, look at the sky, and breathe. Even on cloudy days, even in winter, even with little sunlight, the natural light is there. We just have to let it in. I've done this wearing a heavy coat, wind in my face, holding a cup of tea. The setting doesn't matter. What matters is telling your body that the day has begun and that it can function with everything it's got. Some people ask if this replaces exercise, if it solves sleep problems, if it cures sadness. I always give the same answer. It replaces nothing, but it improves everything. It's the beginning. It's the anchor. When you start your day by telling your body, we're in this together, everything else comes easier. It's like your body thanks you, gets organized, and gets ready to give you its best. And for me, at 91, that is priceless. So, if you wake up every day dragging, already on your phone, grumpy at life, try this before anything else. Go to the light. Even if it's just your balcony, your backyard, the hallway of your building, just you, the morning, and your breath. The world may be in chaos, but that moment is yours, and your body will remember that gesture by the end of the day. The second habit I adopted and never gave up was starting my day with a cup of tea, simple as that. A hot tea, sipped calmly early in the morning, before anything else, before coffee, before the news, even before speaking. That moment became my true awakening. But it's not just about the liquid, not just about the temperature. It's about what it represents, a signal to my body that the day has started and that it can start gently. For a long time, I used to wake up and go straight for strong black coffee, bitter, urgent. It felt like my body only worked when kicked into gear. But as the years passed, I noticed it made me anxious, jittery, upset my stomach. That's when I met a monk at a lecture who spoke about the tea ritual. He said, "Drinking tea early in the day warms the body from the inside, preps the organs, activates digestion, and sends a message to the mind. Today isn't just another day, it's another chance to live well." From then on, I started making tea every day. I've tried many kinds. My favorite now is ginger with mint and a splash of lemon. Sometimes I add turmeric, sometimes chamomile with clove. But the recipe doesn't matter. It's the act that counts, the ritual, the calm. I sit down, hold the cup with both hands, inhale the steam, close my eyes for a few seconds, and only then take the first sip. It may seem small, but that moment shifts my entire internal state. And yes, there's science behind it too. Tea warms the digestive system, improves circulation, helps the liver eliminate toxins built up overnight, hydrates the body after hours without water, and delivers powerful antioxidants, especially if you choose natural herbs. I noticed the results. My digestion started working like clockwork. My energy in the morning improved. That heaviness I used to feel right after waking vanished. More than that, this tea became an emotional anchor, a moment where I reconnect with myself. While the world wakes up in chaos, I start in silence, in presence. And for anyone wanting to age well, that is gold, because how you start the day shapes everything that follows. If you begin in peace with an awake body and an aligned mind, everything flows better. Today, I never skip it, even when I travel, have visitors, or I'm in a rush. My tea comes first, not out of fussiness, but out of respect for my body. It brought me here, standing strong at 91. It deserves that gesture, and if you've never tried it, try it for a week. Wake up, boil the water, pick a natural herb, and make that moment yours. It doesn't have to be perfect, just intentional, because at the end of the day, health isn't made of grand decisions. It's made of these small daily rituals that sustain the body, balance the mind, and give our days meaning. Tea is simple, but the transformation it can bring is immense. The third habit I take seriously every day is exercising my brain as if it were a muscle, because it is. And if you don't use it, it weakens. It might sound like an exaggeration, but it's the truth. What I see the most out there are people who lose their independence not because their body failed, but because their mind gradually shut down. It starts with small forgetfulness, trouble staying organized, confusion with dates and names, and before they realize it, they can't make simple decisions without help. And you know what scares me the most? That in many cases, all of this could have been prevented. And here's the good news. The simple fact that you're here right now, listening to me attentively, is already a way of training your mind. It might seem small, but it's huge, because at this very moment, you're absorbing new content, connecting ideas, reflecting, and all of that activates areas of the brain that help with memory, focus, and even mood. This here is exercise. Just by being present, listening, and learning, you're already strengthening yourself from within. I've always believed that the brain needs challenges, and it's not just crossword puzzles or board games. It's stepping out of your mental routine, learning a new recipe, understanding a topic you've never been interested in, solving a problem without help. All of that demands effort from the mind, and it enjoys that. When you challenge the brain, it responds, reorganizes, creates new pathways. And for anyone who wants to reach old age with mental clarity, that's essential. At 75, I started noticing that my memory wasn't what it used to be. It was a shock. Some words vanished, dates got mixed up. And that's when I realized that if I didn't take care of my mind, I'd start depending on others. And I didn't want that for myself. So I started investing more in it, reading, writing, simple everyday challenges. And the more I did it, the clearer my mind became. It was like dusting the furniture. Everything started to shine again inside. These days, it's second nature to me. I try to keep things varied. One day I read, another I write, another I revisit old memories in detail. I like organizing ideas in my head, remembering stories, making lists without writing them down. It keeps me sharp, alert, alive inside. And best of all, it gives me confidence to keep making my own decisions, even with more than 90 years on my shoulders. The brain has something the body doesn't. It can keep growing even in old age. But for that, it needs nourishment, and not just food, but stimulation. Without challenge, it shuts down. And that's what I try to avoid at all costs. I don't just want to live long, I want to live lucid. I want to look into my grandkids' eyes and remember everything, every detail. And that takes effort, but it's worth every second. So if you've noticed your mind slowing down, start small. Read a paragraph a day, learn a new word, do some math without a calculator. These little things are like gym weights for your brain. It's hard at first, but after a while, you'll feel it responding, and that changes everything. The fourth habit that completely changed how I age was movement, moving every single day. Sounds obvious, but it's not, because as we get older, the thing we hear most is, be careful, don't push too hard, better to stay still, resting is better. And without noticing, we start to accept this idea that the aging body is no longer meant to move, that if it hurts, you should stop, that if you're tired, it's because you're old. But that's one of the biggest poisons for both body and soul. I fell into that trap for a while, stopped moving as much, thinking I was preserving myself. The result? I became stiffer, slower, with pain in my back, hips, shoulders. I felt older than I really was. And the worst part? I started feeling discouraged. Until one day I decided to check out a senior Pilates class happening near my house. I went just to watch, left, signed up, and never stopped. That was a turning point. I realized my body still had a lot to offer. It just needed stimulation. It was tough at first, of course, tight muscles, stiff joints, shaky balance, but I kept at it. And with time, the body loosened, movement came back, and with it, the joy of living. I also started doing some yoga postures, nothing intense, all adapted for my age, but it did wonders for my breathing, my sleep, even my mood. Then something else happened, something unexpected, friendships in those classes. I met people my age with similar stories, facing the same challenges. We laughed together, learned together, encouraged each other. It brought me a sense of belonging I didn't even know I was missing. Because the body needs to move, yes, but the heart needs to connect too. And exercise gave me both physical strength and human connection. Now I do some form of movement every day. It could be a light walk, stretching in the living room, a short yoga session on the TV. The amount doesn't matter. What matters is that I don't let my body sit idle. Because when you stop moving your body, it starts to fade. But when you activate it, even just a little, it responds. It wakes up. It regenerates. And more than that, moving your body is a way of saying, I'm still here. I'm still part of life. I still deserve to feel strong. And that applies to any age. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, or 90. It's always time to reclaim the movement that gives your days meaning. Because living without pain, with autonomy, with flexibility, that's not a luxury, it's a right. And it's within reach for anyone who decides to start over. So if you think you've passed the phase for exercise, think again. Because the body doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for presence. Start with something small, a short walk, a stretch, a dance in your living room. And if you can join a group, because the body strengthens with movement, and the spirit is renewed through community. A fifth habit I incorporated into my routine, and without exaggeration, the most transformative of all, came from an unexpected source, an ancient ritual used by Buddhist monks, now rediscovered and studied by modern scientists. They call it the brainwave ritual of abundance. Sounds like something out of a movie at first, I know. But when I started practicing it, I understood why it survived centuries and is only now gaining the respect it deserves. Because the impact wasn't just mental. It affected my health, my energy, my decisions, and even my finances. I discovered this ritual while reading about longevity and neuroscience. That's when I found a study discussing how certain brainwave frequencies activated early in the morning can reorganize the mind, relieve stress, balance emotions, and believe it or not, open the way for more focus, more clarity, and more prosperity. It was what monks had been doing for generations, a combination of sound, breath, and intention, all in just a few minutes first thing in the morning. I tried it out of curiosity, and I've never stopped. The practice is simple. Every morning, before any distractions, I put on my headphones and listen to a specific frequency that activates the brain's theta state. While I listen, I sit in silence and mentally focus on three things: what I want to feel today, what I want to attract, and what I need to let go of. Sounds simple, it is, but the effects run deep. Within days, my anxiety disappeared. In a few weeks, I started making sharper decisions. And within a few months, my financial life, which had been stable, turned abundant. The most impressive thing? I didn't change anything externally. I didn't start working more or win the lottery. But opportunities started to appear. Old clients reached out. Ideas flowed. Even my investments started yielding better returns. And I know some people think this is too mystical, but the research is there. Columbia, Harvard, reputable scientific journals, all confirming that the brain, when activated at the right frequency, changes how it perceives and interacts with the world. And I felt that firsthand. My health also improved. My blood pressure stabilized. My sleep deepened. My emotions balanced out. It was as if this ritual placed my mind in a state of readiness and ease at the same time. And when I read that this mental mode is the same achieved by monks in deep meditation, I understood the power I was tapping into. It wasn't just about relaxing, it was about aligning my body and mind with something bigger. Today, if I have to choose between coffee or this ritual, I choose the ritual. 7 minutes that prepare my brain for whatever comes. It's become a sacred moment. And the most beautiful part? Anyone can do it. No money required, no experience, no belief system. Just intention and the willingness to try something that could completely shift your life's direction, just like it did for me. If I'm here at 91 years old with clarity, peace, autonomy, and abundance, I can assure you this habit played a crucial role in that. It didn't just change my thoughts, it changed my reality. And if you're curious about this brainwave ritual I mentioned, the one that transformed my mental health, my energy, and even my finances, I'll leave a link in the comments. Just click if you want to understand how it works and maybe start using it too. It costs nothing to learn, and it could change everything inside you. If there's one thing I've learned over all these years, it's that real health doesn't come from urgency, not from guilt, not from pressure. Health comes from consistency, from respecting your own timing. A lot of people hear me talk about these 5 habits and already think, oh, but I could never do all that. And that's okay. The idea here isn't to become a monk, an athlete, or a guru. It's just to plant a seed, one at a time. Because no one changes everything overnight, but everyone can start something. The truth is, the most important thing is to start. It doesn't matter where. It could be with the morning tea, it could be with a short walk, it could be sitting in silence for 3 minutes before bed. What matters is creating a moment for yourself, a ritual that says to your body and mind, I'm here, I want to take care of you. And once that becomes a habit, it transforms everything because the body feels it, understands it, responds. And you know what happens when you try to change everything all at once? You get frustrated because the body and the mind resist overwhelm. And then you feel like you failed, give up, and go back to square one. That's why I always say, start small, but start strong. It's better to do one thing well every day than try to do everything at once and quit in the first week. True health is built like a house, brick by brick. In my case, I didn't start out doing yoga, drinking tea, contemplating life, and walking in silence all at once. Number first, I changed the way I woke up. Then, I adjusted my diet. Later down the line, I discovered Pilates. Years after that came the brainwave ritual, and everything started fitting together, one habit leading to the next, like a chain of good things connecting slowly but deeply. And you'll notice when one habit sticks, it makes room for the next. When you sleep better, you wake up with more energy. With more energy, you eat better. When you eat better, you think more clearly. And when you think more clearly, you make better choices. It's not magic, it's a cycle. And the cycle begins with one single choice, the simplest one, the most accessible one. Another important thing, don't compare yourself to anyone. Every body has its story. Every mind has its own timing. What matters is that you look at your life today and ask, what's one thing I can improve just a little? That's it. Your health will thank you, your mind will respond, and life will slowly return to balance with more ease, with more joy, and with much more meaning. So if you're feeling overwhelmed with all this new stuff, take a breath. Pick one, just one, and start with that. Consistency will bring you the rest. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize your life has changed. Not because you did everything at once, but because you started. And that, my friend, is more than half the journey. If you've made it this far with me, first congratulations, because that already shows you care, that you want to live longer and better, and that you understand aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can be a phase of strength, of wisdom, of clarity. I'm not here as a doctor or a guru. I'm here as someone who has lived what he speaks, who's felt in his body, in his mind, and in his heart the difference small habits can make. Everything I've shared in this video came from my own experience, not from books, not from theory, but from practice, years and years of testing, adjusting, insisting. And today, at 91, I can say with conviction it was worth it. I'm still lucid, still independent, still healthy, and most importantly, still full of life. And if that's possible for me, it's possible for you too. No matter your age, what matters is how willing you are to start taking care of yourself now. So, if this video spoke to you, if something here made sense, leave a like. That helps this content reach more people who may need to hear exactly this. Subscribe to the channel to keep getting videos like this. No magical formulas, just truths that work. And tell me in the comments, which of these habits will you start adding to your routine first? Or which one is already part of your life? See you next time.